Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to repeat the same thing for the other pages. So we have two other pages that we need to repeat the same thing with, and these pages are the users as well as the sales. So to do this, first of all, I'm going to head on over to my project, and then in my project I'm going to create a new file called get underscore users dot php. And then I'm going to copy the code from the get products. I'm going to copy the complete code, and then I'm going to paste it in the get users. And in the get users, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change a few things. The first thing that we need to change is that here we need to say select count all as total users from employee, because the table is called employee. And then here I'm going to say stmt execute. Everything is going to be the same here. The only difference is that here total users, and here total users per page, and then here offset page number 1, and then total users per page, and then total number of pages, and then total users. So total users divided by the total users per page. And here we need to say connect, prepare, select all from employee. Limit, offset, total users per page. And then execute, and then get result. And here the variable is going to be users is equal to statement get result. Now remember in the index.php, what we want to do is that we want here in this table we want to remove all of the records that we have and keep only one. So we have this one, I'm going to remove it, and we have this one, I'm going to also remove it, and we have this one, I'm going to also remove it. Now before you do anything, I want you to go back to the index and check that your code is not broken. So you need to go back to the users.php, or actually it's the index.php, and make sure that you only have one product, you only have one user. So we still need to remove one user. So I'm going to remove this user, and let me save and let me refresh, and now we have one user. Let me now loop over the users. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to say first we need to import the file. I'm going to say php, and then include, and what we want to include is that we want to include the get underscore users.php. And then in this tr we want to create the loop. So here I'm going to create a loop. I'm going to say php, and then I'm going to say for each what? For each users as user, for each users as user, and for each user as users as user, and at the end we need to close the curly bracket. We need to say here php and then close the curly bracket, and in between we want to display the information. So the information, remember, if you go to the database, you'll find that I have a table called employee. So here the employee table, in the employee table, the information that we have is the fields, I should say, that we have are the name, email, image, title, role, status. So the name, I'm going to start with the name here. Instead of John, I'm going to say php, and then echo, and then what I want to echo is that I want to echo the user, and then name, and then semicolon. And let me copy this And now let me repeat it. So here, instead of this email, I'm gonna here say echo user email. And instead of here, the title, I'm gonna say, remember the title is title. So we need to say here we need to say title. And there is no need for this one. I'm gonna remove this p tag. And for the active, we need to say user status. And lastly here, the role, the role is role, just role. And here we have edit. And before I test, let me make sure that everything is perfect. So we have the get users, we have the loop, and we have closed the loop. We have displayed everything here, so everything is perfect. But the only problem is that we don't have many users in the database. So we need to add more users. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna, in the employee table, I'm gonna click on insert. Let me insert a couple of users. So I'm gonna say here, let me here insert a couple of users. I'm gonna say Mark. So it's gonna take some time, but you need to insert a few users because we have pagination, and if you don't do that, the pagination would be just a waste of time. Here 2.jpg, because the image was, remember the image that we have is, the image was this one, 2.jpg. And here we have the title, let's say manager, role manager, status active. And let me here click on go, and this is going to insert one employee. Let me insert another one. I'm going to click on insert one more time, and let me insert another employee. And I'm going to say 3.jpg, and here I'm going to say just for now, I'm just going to try to be quick here because we need to insert a few more employees. Let me be quick here because we want to test. So here, let me say any name here. It doesn't really matter because we need to test first, and then we can add real employees later. And let me insert another one quickly, and we will test after this. So after this, I'm gonna test. So let me here be quick, and we have this image. Let me use the second one more time because I don't have so many images. So here I'm gonna say web designer, and here active. Let me click on go, and now let's test. So now we have, I think we have 5 or 6 employees. I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 employees. And I have said here, remember in the get users, I have said that total employees per page is 3. So we should get 3, and then we should get 2. Let me now refresh. And as you can see, we will have here 3. However, the problem is that I forgot to add the navigation. So I'm going to get the navigation, the pagination bar from the products. From the products, remember, I need to get this bar. I'm going to get this navigation bar, which is the pagination bar, and then I'm gonna paste it in the index.php below the table and above the section here. It should be here. It should be here. And let me remove this space because this space is gonna confuse you actually. So this is gonna confuse you. Let me remove this space. We don't need this huge space. This was just the space that I added just for testing and showing you each single button, but we need to remove the space. We no longer need this space. So we no longer have the space, and this is the navigation bar, or the pagination bar I should say. Let me now refresh and we should have this bar. As you can see, we will have only one and two. If I click on next, I'm gonna get another 2 employees. If I click on previous, I'm gonna get 2 employees. So we have a problem with the image. Here in the index, I forgot to change the image. So the image here should be assets/images/, and then we should say PHP, and then echo, and then we need to echo the user image. User image, and don't forget the semicolon, and then don't forget to close the PHP tag. Now let me refresh, and now we should have 1, 2, 3, and then if I click on next, we will get 2 more employees. And if you click on previous, it's gonna go back to the first page. And as you can see, if you are in page number 1, you cannot click on previous, because page number 1 is just page number 1. You cannot go to page number 0 because there is no page number 0. And if you are in the last page, this is the last page, in this case, the last page is 2 because we don't have more employees. These are the 2 last employees. So if we are in the last page, we cannot click on next. We cannot go to the next page because this is the last page. So now pagination worked perfectly in the user's page.